Hello, everybody. It looks like we're live here. Let me turn off all that stuff on the display. Let me know also if the sound and the video is okay. Display. Okay. All right, so welcome to this live video. It's the first time that I'm trying to live here. So yeah, just bear with me. Let's see how it works out. I was sent this coffee grinder DF54 by MiiCoffee, and that was something kind of like sudden. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know that it was in development. I did know about the DF83V, and I think that's kind of too expensive for me, too expensive for a lot of people, including some of my audience. So I was like, well, this is actually more interesting. This is about $200, or I think 215, somewhere around there. You can take a look. I did include the link for this in the video description, so you can have a look at it. But I thought, before I open it up, let's just do it live. And then you guys can check it out with me. So I got my handy dandy $1 pocket knife that I got in Alaska. And let's open this sucker up. And feel free to write something to the comment section. You know, I'll either respond to them now or later afterwards, but let's just have a look. Now, something also that I should mention is that this arrived super duper quick. Luke over there at MiiCoffee said, hey, Tom, I would send this to you if you like. And I was like, all right, why not? And it arrived in like 4 days with FedEx. It's like super duper fast. So let's just take a look at the grinder. Let's see what it all comes with, check the quality, the features, and see how similar is it to, for example, the DF64. I think it is like a cousin to that. Here we've got some operating instructions in English, so that's kind of a good thing. Looks like this was actually designed a little bit better than some of the other Chinese ones that I've seen in the past. 4.7 kilos and 150 watt motor, so that's decent. 54 millimeter burrs, as you can see there. So yeah, let's have a look. I wonder how big it is. I mean, the box is not very large. Is the sound working okay, by the way? Hopefully it is. All right, there we are. So, packed pretty well in styrofoam. And here we got a catch cup. For me, this is very reminiscent of the DF83 catch cup that I received from Turin, from Joe over there at Turin. What we got here? This is the bellows here. Sound is good. Excellent. Thank you, Nick. So we got this little bellows, nice rubber bellows, as it seems, with a wooden top cover. I'm guessing that this top cover is probably, I mean, it kind of looks like birch. Not sure what it is. Maybe you guys can tell me what you think. All right, so got those two things. And as you see here, it's got a Shuko plug. So yes, that is already made for Europe. I don't know if they're already deliverable. I think this is a pre-production model. Anyway, here's the grinder. So that is what we're looking at right there. Hopefully you can see it, and I do plan to make an updated video after this live so that you guys can see the details better. But I thought this is cool too. Can't hear the audio. Okay, glad you figured it out, Isaac. Anyhow, before we plug it in, let's just have a quick look at it. Now, something's interesting about this. If you can see, it's got these little knobs here on the side so that you can fit the cup in there like that. And that way, it's at a nice angle there. So everything should go into the cup. I'm guessing that's what the deal is there. So that's kind of neat. You know, to be honest, I do like the form factor with this being a smaller grinder. For me, it's kind of nice to not have just a big behemoth here on the countertop. You know, countertop space is at a premium for a lot of people. Here we got the button on the side here. If you can hear that, that is a white, I'm guessing it's going to be illuminated button. It presses inwards and comes back out. And the top, what's nice to see here is that it's got a similar kind of dial as to the DF83. Maybe the 64, I've never had one, but it feels like a glass dial on there, and it looks really pretty. So yeah, you're going from coarse at 90 to fine at 0. And it does have a pointed triangle here. It's currently at 15. So you've got a range here, and I'm guessing if it's anything like the other grinders, the DFs will probably be somewhere in the 15 or 20 range for espresso. Now let's just unscrew this one time. I have to say that I'm pretty amazed at the quality, just like the materials and everything that they can do for 200 euros or dollars. It's pretty nuts. So let's take this dial off here. All right, so this is the inside burr right there. You can see that. We can measure it right away and see if it is in fact 54. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Yeah, as well as I can measure it, it's 53, 54 millimeters. And if we have a look here, you can see that you actually can't see through here because there is a popcorning disc in the way. So that's a nice development. Here is the burr on the other side. Hopefully you can see that all right. And it's got actually the wave. What I do like about this is it's got that wave washer here on the bottom, and it's held in place by a rubber O-ring. So the rubber O-ring fits in a groove, and that way, that silly wave, what do you call it? The wave washer doesn't fall out like it did all the time on the DF83. So that's kind of nice. So let's put this back together. Let's turn it on, see what it sounds like, load up some beans, and just have a quick look. It's got tabs. It's got 3 tabs. So hopefully I got it back on in the right spot. Okay, so we're going to turn it on and see if we can find the calibration point. Okay. It's not, in fact, illuminated. The button is just plain white. But it sounds pretty powerful. It sounds like a powerful motor in there. Now let's slowly make the grind finer until we get to the end point. Okay, so it's just barely past the 0 there, so that's good. I'm gonna bring it back to, let's say 20. All right, so now I've got it at 20, and I'm gonna measure out 16 grams of beans and make a shot and see how it works out. Oh my gosh, I forgot my beans. Of course I did. Back in a jiffy. Okay. So I got these beans here. These are M-Espresso from Marta Marilla. They got 80% Arabica, 20% Robusta. That does help out a bit with getting a nice crema. Let's measure out 16 grams and see. Okay. We're going to do a cold start, I suppose. So I'm going to drop these in and put this in here, and we'll see how it grinds. Oh, I suppose I could put that on. Forgot about that. Let's see if it has any issue with cold starting. Ready? 3, 2, 1. It takes a while. It took 18 seconds, but the grinds, they look fluffy. Really fluffy. Okay. Let's see. 15.3. So about 0.7 grams got stuck in there, which I kind of expect because those are brand new burrs. And anytime you get brand new burrs, you do get some of that dust, those fine particles just stuck in between the burr teeth. But that's fine. 15.3. I would expect for this one going forwards to probably have right around 0.1 or 2. That's my experience with low retention grinders. But I would say that's probably pretty close. Let's see what the shot looks like. I just recently did a video on the ECP, so we're gonna do a shot with that guy today. Yep, enough water. Okay. DF54 says hello to Malkrinic. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. The Malkrinic seems like a really nicely designed grinder, but it's also made in China. And the adjustment on the side is really not very nice to use, not very intuitive to use. I had to adjust my 0 point on it, and it just wasn't very easy. And it costs a lot more. The X54 from Malkrinic, I mean, Malkrinic is a great company, but the X54 costs like 500 euros. So you're kind of paying for the heritage of the brand. Okay, so that's what my puck looks like right there. And I'm just kind of hoping that I'm close enough to get some kind of shot out. Let's have a look here. Where's my, there it is. So let's see what we got going on here. By the way, guys, how is the video quality? It's the first time I'm trying this, so hopefully it's good. I am not using my iPhone. I'm using my regular camera. All right. And I got a tip also from Voices of Music to try to do a Preinfusion with this machine. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So I had to go for 7 seconds. I'm going to give it a Preinfusion of 5, and we're going to keep going here. And that's kind of the thing. A lot of people ask me all the time, how do you measure the time? Do you measure it based on what, first drip or first pump? And I like to do it on pump. Okay, there we are. There's our 2-to-1 ratio. And it looks like for a first attempt, we nailed it. I could maybe even make it just a little bit finer, but I am quite delighted at how nicely the grinds came out. The grinds came out super duper fluffy. Really, really nice. And yeah, full crema there. I have a spoon. Oh, where's my spoon? There it is. Video quality is excellent. Very nice. Okay. Oh, this, ooh, the crema looks creamy. Oh, man. Just waiting for the aftertaste. It's a good shot, for sure. Let me take another sip. I mean, from these beans, I would say the beans are a little bit, how do you say, they're a little tolerant. They're a little bit tolerant of machine and of grind, I would say. They're easy enough to get dialed in, to get a great crema on top, and to get certainly a very strong kind of pungent chocolate flavor, which I am getting here. There is just admittedly a tiny bit of astringency in this shot. And for the first shot, I'm just getting chocolate notes. Sometimes out of these beans, I get a little bit of like a citrus fruit, like a tangerine. Or very occasionally, if I do everything just right, I might get a tiny bit of floral notes in there, or like maybe even like a sweet cherry kind of flavor. This one is giving me chocolate notes. Slight bit of almond in there as well. And that, that's just the first shot, so I would say this grinder, for just opening up the box, trying it out, kind of nailing our first shot as far as getting a decent reset. If I want it to be a little bit drier, I think if I want to try to get a little bit more citrus notes out of it, I would decrease it a little bit. It is a darker roast, but yeah, so far so good. Very cool. So let's see, any questions coming in? Is it leggy in Europe? That's too bad. So let me just put this down for a minute. All right, if the video quality is laggy right now, I do hope that when the video finishes uploading that it's better, because I practiced actually with a different channel that I have, and actually after the fact, the video did look good. It didn't jitter at all. So hopefully this is all right. The quality of copy between ECP and machines over 1,000. It has a whole lot to do with your beans, soft water, puck prep, and then machines over 1,000. If you're talking about something that's got a PID in it, you do have an advantage there, but to me, it's still not night and day advantage. I think it depends on the beans that you're using, and if you want to go more into the medium light roast, then it's I think more important to have a PID. It really depends. These beans, as I said, are very forgiving. But a lot of times when you're going to the 1,000 range and above, you're doing it kind of for build quality, for ergonomic features, and aesthetics. The Burr geometry for espresso or pour over or all-arounder, I would have to open it back up and take a look. I think it's more for espresso, would be my guess. I think the ones for the brew, that the teeth are not quite as deep in there. Can you find sets of Burrs only for espresso or pour over? Square check, follow your face in your camera. It's getting better. Okay. Well, anyway, thanks a lot for all the comments, guys. And as far as getting different burrs in there for the 54 millimeter, I think there's going to be a few. You might be able to switch them out for like a Malkronic 54 millimeter burr. I'm not sure. I haven't done research on that at this point, but maybe you guys can. And what do you think about this grinder? From an optical aesthetic standpoint, I've got to say, I quite like it. I think it looks stately on the counter, yet not being too large. It uses this nice aluminum collar on top with the glass dial. This part here is a really nice aluminum machined. I don't know what you call that. This is where you put the beans inside. So part of the hopper. It feels nice, and hard to believe what you can get these days for your money. The chute, does that come off? No. You have to unscrew the chute. But yeah, overall, it's cool. It's slanted. Like anything slanted, look neat in my opinion. I used to have also speakers that were slanted backwards. Not a bad design at all. I think it looks pretty nice. The finish on it, it's a matte black paint on the body. Yep, foot 2. good paint job. Just for my first visual inspection, taking it out of the box and using it, it's pretty darn nice. So thanks, Luke, for sending me this. I hope you guys like this unboxing video. And until next time, I say happy espresso drinking, arrivederci, pfiat euch, and bye now.